You know, sometimes in life, there will be people that you just absolutely love. Whether that'll be your mom, your dad, your siblings, your pets, your friends. That one fish that you won at the fair but ended up dying the next day when you were like 7. That's right, my boy Fred. I'll never forget about you. Or your first girlfriend. Man, you know what? Even yourself. That's right. Self-love. Learn about it, guys. The point is, there will always be people in life that you'll love. But on the flip side to that, there will also be people that you will hate. Like, for example, your mom, your dad, your siblings, your pets, who decides to pee right next to the fucking pad. Like, bro, scooch a little to your right. It's right there. Your friends, if you even have any, or your first girlfriend. I don't know how it be. Some of y'all hate everything and everyone. But today, I want to talk about characters in animes that I absolutely hate. And I'll be giving you my reasons as to why. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so let me explain this one before y'all start saying, Eric, are you smoking crack? What if I am? What about it? I wouldn't say that I necessarily hate her. It's more of a, I'm just annoyed with her, if that makes sense. Actually, it's right in the middle. I haven't quite made my mind up yet. Spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen this, I don't know what to tell you. In the anime, we get introduced to Aqua when Kazuma Sato dies. And he gets brought right in front of her since she's a goddess. And she starts laughing and making fun of him for the way he died. Which, I can't lie, it's funny. It's funny as hell. So I'll let it slide. But that's one tick on the board for her. Psst, by the way, he died by quote-unquote saving a girl from being hit by a car. However, in reality, the girl was in front of a tractor, and when Sato pushed her, he got so scared that he pissed himself and died. Man, what a crazy way to die. As a punishment for her making fun of him, Kazuma takes Aqua into the world he's being sent in. And at first, I was like, oh, okay, Kazuma got this in the bag. He has a literal god on his side. He should be chilling, right? Man, she was honestly so useless in the beginning. There's not anything I could say. Besides, I mean, at least he has someone with him that he somewhat knew in the new world, I guess. But bro, throughout the whole anime, she had this thing where whenever they would go on quests, she would be the main reason the quests are completed. Don't get me wrong. But everything they earned had to be wasted on them repairing the damages that they caused. More like she caused. Like with the flood she created. Although Kazuma told her to do it, once they defeated one of the Demon King's generals, they got paid like 300 million Aries, but they destroyed the walls that surrounded the town, so all of the 300 million Aries went to the wall. And on top of that, they ended up getting debt from that. So in the end, they would have been better off doing absolutely nothing. Another thing I hated about her, well, what she did actually, was she had this habit where once they quote-unquote finished their quest, she would always jinx them by saying stuff like, this was so easy, now for me to go home and relax, and blah 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 blah. Like, bro, she 100% without a doubt never failed to jinx them, and in my opinion, that was the most annoying part. Oh, and how could I forget, she would always use her I'm a goddess card. I don't think I've ever heard anyone spam that card so much more than her. But if I'm being honest, if I was a goddess too, I would do the same thing, so I don't even really blame her. But man, don't even get me started on those party tricks she unlocked by using her points instead of using them for something else. But if I'm being honest, the reason why I was so annoyed by her was because in my head, coming into the anime, I expected it to be like the other animes. However, this one was more goofy and funny. Everything was so lighthearted. Throughout the seasons, he barely made any progress, which in most isekai animes, they would have defeated the king by now. But that's what I didn't understand at first. I was so used to that type that when I watched this one, I didn't like it at first. And that's why I quote unquote hated Aqua. But looking back at it now, it's what made the anime so funny and entertaining. So compared to everyone on this list, she's probably the one that I hate the least. Just a little annoying. I bet you didn't expect to see her on this list, or maybe you did. Who knows? Depends if you watch the anime or not. I'm gonna give you a rundown of this anime real quick so you'll understand it. In this anime, there are these things called spirits that are from another world. Duh. And every time they come onto Earth, they cause spirit quakes, okay? Are you following along? Anyways, this anime follows this high school student named Shido. And he has this ability where he can seal these spirits' powers and control them so they don't set off the quakes. However, in order to seal their power, he has to make them fall in love with him. What a lucky man. So the whole premise of this anime is anytime a spirit comes to Earth, he has to find them and make them fall in love with him so he can seal their powers. He does it to like 10 spirits, I think, which is like, whoa, calm down, ladies, man. And if I'm being honest, I forgot how it leads to this, but every spirit is a different one. Duh. And there are around 18 to 22 spirits. I'm not sure. That's what Google said. And so I forgot as to why, but the very first spirit, the original one, the creator, ends up coming, which plot twist, she's been around Shido the whole time, watching his every move. And her name is Mio, okay? Now listen up, because this is where things get a little weird is all I'm gonna say. And you'll see why I hate her. Basically, there's no other way to explain it other than saying Shido is Mio's child. Yes, you heard that. Shido is Mio's child. Let me explain how this happened though. So originally, Mio met this man called Shinji who looked exactly like Shido, because it is. Originally, Mio fell in love with Shinji and just wanted to live a happily peaceful life with him. However, we know that not everything in life can be happily and peaceful. Shinji ended up being shot by this dude named Isaac Westcott. He's important to the whole story, and honestly, I might hate him more than I hate Mio. After Shinji was shot by Westcott, Mio used her powers to resurrect him in her stomach as a child. And she made him also a spirit and gave him the power to be able to seal the spirit's power, and divided her powers into girls, which created the spirits, hoping that one day she would gather all the crystals together and revive Shinji, which is Shido, hoping that they would meet again. Okay, pause. Right here, I completely understood and was all for it up until this part. Once she reveals her true self, she starts killing all the spirits to get her crystals back and revive Shinji. Like, what? She flat out just stabs the spirits and takes it away, which ultimately instantly kills them. She straight up just used them girls as puppets, as dolls for this experiment. Like, what? And when I was watching this go down, man, I saw each spirit get the crystal ripped out of them, and my heart was being drained and drained and drained. Cause just like Shido, I had built a love for them. They were all amazing people, and the next second I'm seeing them being killed, getting the crystal ripped out of them, and it's just like, man, I might have shed a tear, I can't lie. Long story short, she ended up wiping out practically humanity just for her and Shinji, so they can live peacefully. Until Toka, which is another one of the spirits, the first spirit he made fall for him, comes back and tries to save him. It doesn't work out. And long story short, Mio and Shido go on a space date, and finally, Mio comes to the realization that no matter what, she'll never get the true Shinji back. That Shido could never fully replace the mark and love that she had for Shinji. And she reveals that since she was too powerful, she had a subconscious goal that was to make someone who was powerful enough just to kill her, which is just so sad, man. After listening to that, I was damn near in tears. She lost the love of her life, did all this, and hoped to die. Although she did kill every spirit that I love, I still felt bad for her, man. And she reconciled with Shido. She resolved to protect the loved ones left, and just then, Westcott ends up transforming into the second spirit of origin and then start battling. And in an attempt to save everyone from the reign of terror he was going to cause, she sacrificed herself. Man, this John was sad. Looking back at it, after typing the script, I can't believe I hated her after that. Well, I mean, she did kill 10 spirits, who were my favorite, and she did kill Toka, so... Okay, but in all honesty, looking back at it, the main person I hated there was Westcott, because he caused this mess entirely. But at one point, I did hate Mio. And don't even get me started on Origami. Man, she was... Okay, on to the next. Come on, this one is pretty self-explanatory. If you watch this anime and didn't hate her, yeah, you're smoking crack. Just like the last one, this one is pretty self-explanatory. She just should not have won in my opinion, regardless of what the manga says, or what they did in the manga. Man, Miku should have won. Or Itsuki. She went over to his house and ate food with his sister and dad. Come on, man. Come on. Okay, this one is a little strange, and I'll explain as to why. I'm not done watching this anime. As a matter of fact, I'm not even done watching the first season, but I felt like I had to mention her in this. It starts off with this guy named Rito, and he has a crush on this girl named Haruna, and he has tried to ask her out many times, but never had the guts to do it. Pussy. Eventually, after failing yet again, he goes home and takes a bath. He ends up in the bath, and after feeling something in the bath, a girl stands up and is completely naked. Shit, lucky. Anyways, we find out that she's actually from outer space, and there are people looking for her. And just then, these men enter the room and ask for her back. Rito ends up helping her escape and leads her out of his room and onto the roofs of the houses, and they start running. Just then, it cuts us to a dog being walked, and you won't guess who's walking the dog. Well, you probably will, but it's Haruna, the girl Rito likes. And she sees Rito and this girl, whose name is Lala, running on the roof holding hands. Man, when I seen it cut to the dog, I knew it was gonna be her. Because of course it was. I knew Buddy was cooked. Anyways, long story short, Lala is actually a princess and she doesn't want to go back home. I'm gonna skip to the part where it actually matters to the story, so yeah. Basically, the next day, Rito ends up seeing Haruna, and surprisingly, he has the balls and courage to tell her how he feels. However, just then, just as soon as he gets to tell her how he feels off his chest, thinking he's talking to Haruna, Lala comes down and thinks Rito is talking to her.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Like, come on, Lala, really? And this is what made me hate her. Cause like, you really had to ruin a special moment for my boy Rito? Like, come on. Anyway, she thinks it's for her and declares her love and says that they're gonna get married. Meanwhile, Haruna just stands there speechless as to what had happened. And it's not like Rito can get out of this marriage now, or at least at the part I was last at said, because he had 3 days to call it off at first, but he just couldn't because of a lot of inconveniences. So yeah. And it didn't help that there was this one scene where Ritsu was being chased by a crowd of boys who were jealous by him because he had Lala. And then once they were cornered, she teleported them somewhere else. Meanwhile, Haruno was getting ready in the locker room. And guess where they spawned? In a locker right in front of Haruno. And the door opens and they are both completely naked since the teleporting machine cannot carry non-living things. Yeah, GG's Rito. You're stuck with Lala for life. I think if I remember, I'm on episode 9 of the first season and there's like 6 seasons. So I'm not sure what else happens, but for now, I hate Lala. I feel like a lot of people will agree with me on this one, but listen, hear me out. At first, when I started watching this anime, I was honestly all for her and Jiro. Yes, I know that sounds crazy with the amount of Shiori haters these days. However, I was generally all for it at first. I mean, come on, Jiro liked Shiori at first, and he didn't even like Watanabe at first. Did he find her attractive? Yes, but like, who wouldn't? Eventually though, as the show progressed and they wanted to be at the top so they could switch partners and they started acting all lovey-dovey, I started rooting for them. I was in my bed, feet up in the air, swinging them back and forth whenever they would do things. And eventually, they caught feelings for each other, but were still confused. They had me yelling through the damn screens. But as the show continued, I started to see Watanabe and Jiro more. I started rooting for them. I was on their side. I didn't fully hate Shiori in all honesty. That was until that one scene where they ended up kissing each other. Man, when I first seen that, I was in complete shock. Had me gasping for air like, what? Because at this point, throughout the show, it was obvious Jiro and Watanabe were meant to be. But like now she wants to make her move? You've been childhood friends since elementary. And now, when Jiro falls in love with a good-looking girl, man, that pissed me off. In that moment, I became a Shiori hater. And don't even get me started on when Jiro went to her apartment. When I seen that, I was ready to go in there myself, bust open the door, and run it with him. Cause for what reason do you have to go over to her apartment when you have an amazing girl at home? At first, I didn't really understand the Shiori hate. And I thought she didn't deserve it at first. But nah, y'all right. She deserved it all and more. In my opinion, it just wouldn't make sense if I put Shiori on this list but not Hina. You know what I mean? Because if you really look at it, it's kind of the exact same thing. Except they hadn't known each other for so damn long. They had met their first year in middle school. And Taiki didn't meet Chinatsu till his 3rd year of junior high school. Which means she had 2 years. 2 years to make a move on him. Hina had 2 years to confess to him. 2 years. You get the point. My hatred towards Hina isn't as strong as it is for Shiori, if I'm being honest. Mainly because Hina was kind of attractive, I can't lie. But also because they never kissed. Well, technically. ChatGPT is saying that they never did. But to me, that school festival definitely looked like they did. Anyways, like I was saying though, the most I guess I can say was that she annoyed me at the end when she confessed her feelings to him. And after being rejected, she got mad at him and begged and kept begging. Like, I respect the hustle. I'll say that much. But like, come on, dog. Clearly he don't want you. Wrap it up. But other than that, my hatred towards Hina wasn't as bad compared to Shiori. But I felt like if I mentioned Shiori, I had to mention Hina. So okay, this whole list has low-key been women. And I'm not just a women hater, I'm a man hater too. I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. I'm neither. Please don't cancel me. I sincerely apologize. However, we're gonna switch it up and I'm gonna mention a dude. This dude right here, he's one of the people that I actually hated as a child. If you see my video where I ranked the top 10 most rated anime openings, then you'd know that I watched Sword Art Online at a young age. Straight peak that I watched. But I absolutely loved that anime. However, one thing that I did not love was the way he treated my Asuna. I still, to this day, remember vividly when I watched him chain Asuna, take her clothes off, and lick her. I was damn near close to going into the screen myself and killing him. I think that's genuinely the first time I hated an anime character. And to this day, I don't think I've hated anyone more than him. That's just facts in my opinion. This one, I feel is a bit self-explanatory in my opinion. And for those who haven't watched High School DxD, well, first of all, you're missing out on peak. But second of all, you'll see what I mean. Basically, in the start of the anime, Issei has this girl ask him out on a date, and he accepts. I mean, who wouldn't? They go out on a date, she pretends to be his girlfriend, all cute and stuff. Aww, look, they went out. They had fun, shop, had food, you know, all the normal things you do at a date. Then comes the end of the date, where they go to a park, and then reveals that she's a fallen angel, and fucking stabs him with the spear of light. Like, what the fuck? That shit would definitely hurt. Oh hell no. Imagine you're on a date with a girl who asked you out, you think is amazing, good looking, has good, Well, you know. And then y'all go to the park thinking everything is still good. Then she fucking stabs you. Like, what the hell? No, bro. Do you see why I hate her now? Well, actually, she was kind of the reason we were introduced to Ria's Gramarye. So on second thought, maybe I don't hate her that much. Nah, but all jokes aside, I hate her with a passion. Because, man, that hurt me. And I wasn't even the one that was on a date with her. Like, bro, she toyed with his feelings. Like, oh, hell no. I hate her. I'm so glad she died. Alright, this next one, I low-key wasn't thinking about it until I was editing this video, so I'm gonna try to be quick with it. I'm not gonna lie, I dropped the anime because I didn't really like it. I was gonna make a video about it at first, but YouTube didn't even let me upload the video, so not like there was any point in finishing the anime if I couldn't talk about it. Well, there was, but however, there was this one girl, and when Naofumi first entered the world, nobody liked him because he was the shield hero, who was quote-unquote useless. And after no one ended up joining his party, she ended up agreeing to join his party, and at first I was like, oh, okay, he found someone. She fucks with him. This might be the love of his life. Some shit like that. Yeah, I could not have been even more wrong. Because the way she started acting, I just could tell. I don't know if it's because my spidey senses were tingling or what, but I mean, I could tell. She was going to do something. And I was right, bro. When she accused him of what he did, I deadass wanted to jump in that screen and beat her up myself. And although that sounds wrong, bro, my hands are ready to eat for everybody. I'm kidding. That was another joke. But genuinely, accusing someone of doing that is just unforgivable, bro. And that's why I hated her so much. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, this one was actually recommended to me by a friend after I asked him what was the character that he hated. So shout out to you, Joel. At first, I didn't think it could be that bad, you know? Maybe he did a couple of like things here and there, and that's why he's hated. But oh man, when I tell you, after finding out the shit he did, I was left speechless. My mouth was wide open. Wait, hold on. Not like that. This dude might be the worst person ever, and I haven't even watched the anime myself, but I already hate him. He for sure beats everyone else on this list. After searching up what he's done to get people to hate him and reading over what people have said about him, man, what the actual fuck? For starters, he just practically sacrifices his whole family for his personal gain to gain godlike powers. And at first I was like, okay, that's bad, but that's not that bad. I mean, like, we've seen Itachi murk his whole clan, even though he was forced to still. But that's not even the worst part. He flooded the world with monsters and then pretended to be the savior. Okay, that's bad, but surely it can't get worse, right? Right? Wrong. He Casca. He graped Casca. What the actual fuck? The second I seen that, yeah, I understood why he's so hated. Because what do you mean he someone? And he did it just to get back at Gus. Just to get back at someone. He someone. What the actual fuck? This dude is, man, I don't even know. I see why he's so damn hated. And honestly, I myself hate him too after that. Cause like, what? I don't even know what to say after that. Anyways, as of right now, I think that's everybody that I can think of. So I think it's time to wrap this video up. I really do appreciate it if you made it all the way through. Let me know in the comments if I'm right or wrong, or if there's anyone that you hated that I didn't go over. Anyways, without further ado, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. I put my feelings down, make bless some skills, I'm finna go and win. It ain't no option to come second or third, never less the end. I practice what I preach, don't do shit, you only play pretend. Lord, you the man, you a stepping stool so I